Yesterday, I ranked the most underrated characters in Injustice 2 Mobile, and today I'm going to be ranking the most overrated characters in Injustice 2 Mobile. These are going to be characters that aren't necessarily bad, but they're just not as good as I think people make them out to be. And two quick things. Number one, don't get offended because this is just a game and it's just my opinion. And number two, I hope you guys have a good day. Number five is going to be Black Adam. Black Adam is actually a character that I've built. However, I haven't built him to his best form. And unfortunately, one of the problems is building him in his best form because he's a glass cannon character. Glass cannon characters do a lot of damage, but they cannot take a lot of damage. They have a very low health stat. And this is one of those characters, and this is one of the biggest problems with him. He can die really easily. Now, this wouldn't be as big of an issue if it wasn't for the second part that's bad with him, and that's that he's a chance character. Let me explain what I mean. So, for his passives, the most important passive out of all of them is that he can power drain 7 bars of power, or he could steal 7 bars of power on his special 3. However, you have to rely on chance, okay? It says it may be stolen. The power may be stolen. So, there's a chance that won't activate, which sucks. If you're using him on P4, you need a power drain because if you don't, he's gonna use his super move, and you're gonna die. And there's been many times where I'm using Black Adam in P4, and I could use like 5 of his special 3s, and it just will not power drain Brainiac, which is really stupid. I don't know what the chances are because it doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you until you go to the actual ability, and it's only a 56% chance, which is pretty low. It's only at level 63. I believe once you get him to level 70, it should go up to 60%. But even then, the consistencies in this game when it comes to chances is very bad. Okay? It can tell you 90%, but it will only do it like 50% of the time. That's how inconsistent this character is. And I think that's really bad. And the worst part is they never tell you about this, all right? Back in the day, it used to be good because these chances actually made sense. They actually worked. But then I guess they decided to nerf him, but they didn't tell us. You could just tell that from one update to another update, the chances dropped. And that's what sucks about him. You have to rely on those chances. And if those chances screw you over, you're done. You're done. You're gonna die. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like Black Adam. Well, it's two of the reasons why I don't like Black Adam. And if I were to suggest building this character, I would suggest doing it very carefully, or at least going to get another character first. Just upgrade another character. He's okay. I'm not saying he's bad, but he's just not as good because of those chances. Number four is going to be Grid. Okay, Grid is an okay character again. However, he is so specific. I hate it when characters are so specific towards a team, unless they have a team name on them. Okay, so for example, Multiverse of Flash is going to be great when you pair him up with a multiverse team, but that's okay because he's a multiverse character. Grid is just a normal character, but he is so against tech heroes and against Cyborg, which is okay because he can be against he's like the anti-Justice League, but there is already an anti-Justice League. It's called Nightmare Batman, and he's a million times better because you don't have to do anything with Nightmare Batman. With Grid, it just stops Cyborg from being so strong. It disables his passive, which is, I mean, okay, but I want that passive. I want him to have that passive because I'll just tag in Nightmare Batman and it'll just go against him. Isn't that better? I don't know what the point of Grid was. He also has like a couple of buffs against tech opponents, but that's so specific. You need to be fighting a tech opponent to maximize his capabilities. And I think the selling point about this character is also the worst part about this character, okay? Losing more than 15% of health over 1 second from basic attacks activates a 200% current health shield. Oh, well, that doesn't make any sense. So do I give him a bunch of health or not give him a bunch of health? Because if he has a bunch of health, the chances of him losing 15% of health in 1 second is really low, which means that passive is useless. If I don't give him a bunch of health, he can die really quickly. Even with that shield, he's going to die quickly. So it's like, well, they just contradict each other. There's no point. That's why I don't build this character because it doesn't make any sense. I don't know if I want to give him a bunch of health or not a bunch of health, right? On top of that, I think some of his some of his abilities do additional damage on tech opponents. So like his special 1 does 27% more damage on to tech opponents. but that's only at level 25. Maybe it goes up to 50%. But either way, what's the point? He's not an attack character, which means that buff isn't really much. I could just tag in again Nightmare Batman, and he'll just do the work for me. I never understood what's the point. And his ability, sorry, I had to cough. My bad. And his ability 3 heals, but here's the catch: he has to knock out a cyborg opponent. What? What? It's like if Shazam had to knock out an arcane opponent to heal his entire team. But he doesn't do that. He just heals his team on special 3. Grid doesn't do that. Grid has to knock out specifically a cyborg opponent. Okay? Well, oh, all right. Well, what about if it's not a cyborg opponent? Then what? Well, nothing happens. You can't do anything anymore. It's just that special is useless. So yeah, I don't really enjoy this character. Getting his shards is really easy, and he's got a ton of passives, but ultimately it doesn't matter because he's basically useless. You can give him a bunch of health, but you can do that with 99.99% of characters in the game. So yeah, Grid, I don't like Grid. Number 3 is going to be Silver Batman. Silver Batman only has one passive. His abilities are all plain except for one. One of them can stun, and that's it. All right. His passive is he adds 20% critical attack chance to the entire team. That's it. That's all he does. But for some reason, people love his special 3 so much, they upgrade him to like level 70 gear or whatever to fight in raids to do, what is it, like 4 million damage or 3 million damage. That blows my mind away, okay? Predator Batman could do the same thing, but he's also a lot better in Arena and Champions Arena. So I don't know why people don't build him instead. Not to mention, there's a million other people that are better than Predator Batman. So I do not understand what's the point of upgrading Silver Batman. I've seen it so many times. He's like completely upgraded. His card, what's it called? His like card art changes and everything. I've seen it a million times. I don't know why. I do not understand why. Okay, if it's for his passive and people treat him as a support character, still not a good idea because Bane does everything he does except even better. I believe he adds 30% more basic attack damage and he gives a 30% critical attack chance. So Bane beats him in support and almost every other gold character, or every, I'm not going to say every other gold character. Some gold characters suck. But a lot of gold characters outnumber this guy in terms of raids. So I really do not understand what's the point in building Silver Batman. All right, for number 1 and number 2, I really could not pick who was going to be number 1, who was going to be number 2. So you can, I guess number 2 and number 1 are in the same spot. But just because I like going in order, number 2 is going to be Reverse Flash. I'm going to lose some of you right now. Like a lot of you, I know a lot of people love Reverse Flash. He's a cool looking character. He's got a cool card. He lights up pretty cool when you upgrade him. However, there's no point in him. All right, there's just no point in him. His ability is that 70% chance to swap power with opponent on tagging. That's great if you know specifically how to use him and you can remember this passive. Sometimes I might be stupid, all right? Sometimes I forget. All right, sometimes I forget that this happens. And the reason why this is bad is because this passive is probably the only passive in the game that can work against you. Okay? If you have more power and the enemy has less power and you tag in Reverse Flash, there's a chance you're going to swap power and you're going to get the lesser and they're going to get the more. Okay? That's not good. You obviously don't want that. You don't want to be giving enemy opponents more power for free, basically. All right? The second part of this character, and it's not written down, everyone just knows, he's a flash character, which means he has more fast attack hits. But guess what? So does Speed Force the Flash. And his passive never works against you. So that means, in my opinion, Speed Force the Flash is better than Reverse Flash. I will give it to Reverse Flash. He does have some pretty cool specials and abilities, and he just looks cool. You know, he's cool. And he's Reverse Flash. Everyone loves Reverse Flash. But unfortunately, aside from looking cool, there is just nothing really good about him. I don't get it. I mean, you can get him easily because you can get him off the Justice League credits or the raid credits. Sorry, I think I called him in my last video Justice League credits as well, but it's just arena credits. But what's big whoop? All right, I have a million other Flash characters that I could use to build combos. I'd rather use Blade Master Robin to build combos because at least I don't have to worry about timing my power or using my power in a specific moment when I don't want to. Right? I run into this problem a lot when I'm using him with Silver Banshee. So I just switched over to Blade Master Robin. It's just easier. His abilities look cool, like I said, but they're plain. They don't have any sort of special aspect to them. And well, there's nothing really else to say. I know this video is getting a little repetitive, but like these listings are getting repetitive. But I mean, all of them basically have something in common. They're plain and their passive sucks, and there's no point in using them. I think Reverse Flash is like one of those characters. He specifically embodies that statement. So I just do not like Reverse Flash. Number one is going to be Armored Superman. All right. First and foremost, before I get hate and before you guys tell me that the reason why he's so good is because of his reflective shield, guess what? So does 30 other people. So do 30 other characters. They have a reflective shield. Okay. His passives are crap. All right. They're crap. He can ignore a special one, a special two, or a special three, which is great. But guess what? It only happens once. It only happens once. This character becomes useless after the first 10 seconds of the battle. All right. There's no point in having him. In Injustice 1, there was a character called Injustice 2 Superman, which had the same exact passive. But guess what? It was OP because it would reset after every tag in. That's a good character. That is awesome. If this character could do that, I would not put him on this list. He would be one of the best characters in the game. Unfortunately, he doesn't do that. His second passive, he adds 20% defense for team. Well, guess what? A lot of characters are built to have attack, and the defense stat doesn't even matter anymore. Okay? And there's probably one character in each team that's a tank. But guess what? After a certain amount of health, there's just no point in having more than that. So let me give you an example. A normal character can probably go up to 40,000 health with their 75% defense stat, okay? Which is great. But there's no need to go over that. Armored Superman could probably get to 50,000 health with a 75% defense, which is good. It's better, but again, there's no point. There's no point in going over that. That's just an example. That's just you could pick the numbers up a little bit more. You can add whatever numbers you want, but it doesn't matter. You don't need a bunch of health in this game. You can survive off 30,000 health. So my characters have 20,000 health, and I'm doing okay. So there's no point in having so much health. He's kind of like just overdoing it. There's no point in overdoing it. On top of that, his specials, they don't have anything special to them. His special one does dot damage, but it's in a little hazard zone, which means that the AI will almost 100% of the time avoid that. His special 3, it looks cool and it does okay damage, but it's not enough to grab my attention. And his special 2 is a reflective shield, which like I said, a million other characters have. Legendary Superman has it, but it's even better because every single time that he blocks damage from his reflective shield, the health, he gets health from that damage. I know it sounded really weird. My bad, I'm starting to stutter. I actually already recorded this, but I accidentally deleted it. So I'll have to do this again. Anyways, his shards, you have to get them really slowly. There's no way to do it because you have to get them through like the daily challenges or through the objectives. However, it takes forever to get those, okay? If you don't use the Champions Arena shards, you're not going to get them, all right? You're not going to get them anymore. I've had this game for 2 years, 2.5 years, and I still haven't gotten them, all right? I don't specifically try to get them, but these are objectives that are easy. So, like, throughout the process of you playing, you should be getting them. But I still haven't gotten them, even though I put hours into this game. So, yeah, again, Armored Superman, useless character. I know I'm getting repetitive, but he's just useless. I do not like him. All right, so just like in the beginning of the video, don't get offended, all right? It's just my opinion. What do I know? I'm just some stupid teenager who voice cracks a lot. I don't know if you guys noticed that. That happened a lot throughout this video. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I just woke up. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I'll just blame it on that. Yeah, not that I have a weird voice or anything. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I did try to make it a little bit like dramatic. I guess it's not that big of a deal. I don't care if someone builds Armored Superman. But I just did it just kind of like for the effect. You know, it always sounds a little bit better when you're kind of hyperbolizing. I don't know if that's a word. You add hyperbole to like every sentence. But yeah, like Grid, I've thought about building Grid. Like for example, I've built Black Adam. You know, it's not really anything wrong about building these characters. I'm just trying to tell you guys that if you guys aren't gonna put the game in, aren't gonna like, I guess, practice a lot or take the game a little bit seriously, these characters you don't want to build them, right? I think you could lay back once you've already gotten a certain amount of characters to a certain level. After that, you can do that whole thing where I always say you have to diversify your roster, otherwise you're gonna get bored. But first and foremost, you gotta get those. You gotta get those OP characters. All right, that's gonna get you a long way. Once you get the OP characters, it's really easy to get like every other character. So you have to take this game seriously for just a little bit, in order for you to have a little bit more fun. Which is why, like I said, I upgraded Grid and I upgraded Black Adam, just because I had basically everybody else. I didn't need more shards of King Aquaman or whatever, so I got shards of Reverse Flash. Um, but yeah, it's all about fun. And like I said, I did maybe go a little bit off the roads, all off the rails for a second. Um, but oh, dude, it sucks. In Armored Superman, when I was listing that one, I actually finished it, and I basically had like a perfect run. But instead of hitting the save button, I accidentally deleted that piece of audio, so I had to go back. And I don't know if you guys noticed, I was like super depressed. I was like, all right, first place is Superman, and I sounded that way because I was just really sad that I deleted that audio because it was like perfect. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys later.